Coming up in this edition of News are, as police arrest two Chinese nationals for illegal mining gold in the Kangari Hills in Tonkolo District, Congo Bridge mining operations in Koindu Town to investigated. Second joins the world to observe breastfeeding week. Chief Medical Officer, Ministry of Health and Sanitation, Dr. Brian Akago, urges district medical officers to double their efforts for their successful implementation of the presidential recovery priorities. And Civil Rights Coalition and the African Union Livestock Policy Hub embark on campaign to encourage Sierra Leoneans to prefer locally produced chicken to imported ones. All those stories, including business and sports, line up in this edition of News Hour. Observe World Breastfeeding Week, the director of the Directorate of Food and Nutrition, Aminata Shamit Kuroma, has said despite significant improvements on breastfeeding, especially exclusive breastfeeding, much still needs to be done to sustain the gains. She made the statement during a press briefing on World Breastfeeding Week at the Ministry of Health and Sanitation Conference Hall. Joseph Stanley reports.
The objective of this year commemoration is to raise awareness on the new Sustainable Development Goals and how they are related to breastfeeding, infant and young child feeding, as well as anchor breastfeeding as a key component to enhance sustainable development. Addressing a news conference, the Directorate of Food and Nutrition, Aminata Shamit Kuroma, said that breastfeeding is linked to the Sustainable Development Goals and is a key element for people to know how to value their well-being from the start of life, how to respect each other, and care for the world we share. She added that breastfeeding, and in particular exclusive breastfeeding for the first 6 months of a child's life, ranked among the most effective and low-cost interventions for improved child survival and health. Madam Aminata Shamit Kuroma described breastfeeding as the natural bond between a mother and a child, and it is safe, tastes good, sustainable, and gives protection against infections. She revealed that in Sierra Leone, there has been significant improvement in the rates of breastfeeding, especially exclusive breastfeeding, and that it has greatly contributed to the reduction of chronic malnutrition. The UNICEF Nutrition Manager, Dr. Kajali Pental, described this year's theme, Breastfeeding, a Key to Sustainable Development, as a link to the goals of breastfeeding, with special focus on nutrition and food security, survival, health, and well-being of infants. She said the United Nations acknowledges the importance of breastfeeding for sustainable development as it is basic human right. A representative of Focus 1000, Paul Senge, explained about the importance of breastfeeding, especially exclusive breastfeeding, and appealed to newsmen to help promote the practice for sustainable development. An interactive session formed part of the news conference.
The Chief Medical Officer, Ministry of Health and Sanitation, Dr. Kalokoh, has urged district medical officers to redouble their efforts in scaling up action for the successful implementation of the presidential recovery priorities. He made this revelation during a meeting on the 10th to the 24th month presidential recovery priorities. Joseph Stanley again.
Addressing healthcare providers, Dr. Kalokoh encouraged them to build on community engagement and source surveillance on prone epidemic disease, foster private-public partnership collaboration, as well as strengthen coordination and communication between partners, the hospital and the councils. He observed that the district continued to encounter challenges on service delivery and reminded them of their roles and responsibilities in addressing issues that are critical to addressing the desired results for resilient health system within the presidential recovery priorities and the agenda for prosperity. Dr. Kalokoh reiterated that the destiny of the nation lies in the hands of the health ministry and expressed the need for the successful implementation of the 2 years operational plan.
That the Ministry of Health has a stake in the President's recovery priorities, which I believe as a ministry we need to actually support without any thinking. But please, let us prioritize the 10 to 24 month priority, because the President is actually very much concerned with it. We're trying to recover after the 18 months of the Ebola, and if we are to move as a nation, it means we need to address most of these key issues.
The Deputy Chief Medical Officer 1, Dr. Serian Kamara, congratulated healthcare providers for the success made during the 6 to 9 months recovery plan despite challenges. She also spoke about plans for the recruitment of paramedics and drivers for the National Emergency Ambulance Services at chiefdom and district levels that will help improve and promote maternal and child health and drastically reduce maternal and child morbidity and mortality. Dr. Kamara reported progress made on the 24 acres of land acquired at Kerry Town, Western Rural District for the establishment of structures for the National Emergency Medical Service, a warehouse and other key infrastructural development. Health Sector Coordinator, President's Recovery Priorities Program, Dr. Clifford Kamara, underscored the importance of the district operational level for the health sector, since this is where most program activities are implemented. He reminded them that the President's Priorities Program outlines a set of activities that are embedded in the Ministry of Health and Sanitation plans and budgets, highlighting the challenges to save the lives of 600 women and 5,000 children by 2018. Interaction and contribution on key issues from the district medical officers formed high points of the meeting. SLBC News Joseph Daniel reporting.
The Civil Rights Coalition and the African Union Livestock Policy Hub have embarked on a campaign to encourage Sierra Leoneans to prefer locally produced chicken to imported ones. The campaign is targeting market areas across the country. This follows the recent Fortune chicken saga, where dozens of Sierra Leoneans rushed at an expired chicken that had been at the Bome dump landfill site. Sheku Sumaila reports.
Pain is coming at a time when many Sierra Leoneans are afraid of eating chicken as a result of the rotten chicken saga. Last week, dozens of Sierra Leoneans rushed at a rotten chicken that had been dumped at the Bome landfill site in the east of the capital. This led to the Ministry of Health advising Sierra Leoneans to be mindful of the chicken they eat. This campaign by Civil Rights Coalition is to encourage Sierra Leoneans to be going in for locally produced chicken than the imported ones, and for the government to give more support to local poultry farmers and of the livestock sector generally. Alfonso Manley is executive director of the Civil Rights Coalition. He said Sierra Leoneans should patronize local producers.
So what we want to instill is to restore their confidence in eating chicken. That don't eat imported chicken, we cannot guarantee you. But when it comes to consuming our own local chicken, we can guarantee you that confidence. Just as you see, we have this aka. These are locally processed chicken. So we want to restore the confidence of people who are buying the chicken. We want to restore confidence on people who are selling the chicken. That's why we are visiting various markets in the western area for start. So look, we have our brother, our own colleague, our own people who are dealing with chicken business, and they are not importing. So this is safe for you to consume.
The deputy chairman of the African Union Livestock Policy Hub, Mohammed, should give more support to local producers to enhance productivity.
You see, Mr. Sheku, for quite a long time, we've been advocating on this. We knew quite well that this type of incident will arise one day, because the whole thing is the policy hub is there to advocate for the livestock, and also to promote livestock farmers. And here in Sierra Leone, we've been importing chicken for quite too long. We think this is the right time to stop the importation of chicken so that we can promote our own local farmers in this country.
Public Relations Officer, Ministry of Agriculture, Forestry and Food Security, Abakar Darami, said more taxes should be levied on imported chicken.
We have a growing number of poultries in the country, and these poultries, if capacitated, not by giving them money, but by protecting our local industries, they will definitely meet up to the task. When I say I'm capacitating them, we have Sarah Aka that is doing processing and packaging. We have the Paja poultry that is raising that has an hatchery and raising BO chicks. We have Lincoln poultry. All these poultry will sell their brands to Sarah Aka. Sarah Aka will process them, packaging, and send them to the market. But if the tax that was waived on imported goods in 2006-2007 is not being placed back on this product, we will find out that these imported goods will be competing with our local products. Our local product costs money to be produced, and they are fresh to the table.
Traders in chicken say they are ready to do business with local poultry farmers. Traders in chicken said they are ready to do business with local poultry farmers. They appreciated the campaign by the Civil Rights Coalition and the African Union Livestock Policy Hub, as it will enable them understand the operations of local poultry farmers. Reporting for SLBC News, I'm Sheku Smaila.
Up next is Awanato Conte with business updates.
Thanks, Doreen. Hello and welcome to the business update with me, Awanato Conte. We begin with the foreign exchange rates. The US dollar buys at 6,035 leons and sells at 6,157 leons. The British pound sterling buys at 7,988 leons and sells at 8,153 leons. And the euro buys at 6,741 leons and sells at 6,876 leons, courtesy of the central bank. Standard Chartered Bank has recorded an increase in profit by 79% in 2015 compared to 2014. The bank's revenue grew by 21% on foreign exchange gains and fees on transfers. These disclosures were made during the bank's 44th general meeting held at the YWCA New Hall, Brookfields in Freetown. Judith Sana was there.
Abat McLeod said, despite the effect of the Ebola outbreak on the private sector, the bank emerged very strong with an outstanding performance in 2015. It disclosed that profit before tax in the year under review was 17 billion leons, representing 79%, as 2014 profit before tax was 9.5 billion leones. It said the bank saw a significant increase in rates in December 2015, closing at 11.5% compared to 5.2% in December 2014. Mr. McLeod added that inflationary pressure increased in 2015, driven by low agricultural production, disruption in cross-border, and the pass-through effect of the leone's depreciation. It said the leones depreciated against the US dollar by 15% to 5,614 leones as at December 2015, against 4,869 leones in December 2014. The Chief Executive Officer, Idrissa Kamara, said that the non-funded income increased from 41.2 billion leones to 58.8 billion leones, driven by increased foreign exchange and trade activities. It said that the total assets increased by 17% to 669 billion leones, and total customers' deposits grew by 18% to 527 billion leones.
A superb financial performance with profit before tax increasing by 79%. I will acknowledge three things here. First, it is our ability as an institution to understand our operating environment, interpret the business fundamentals, and ensure we position the bank to take advantage of opportunities out in the market, even though the environment was very challenging. Two, I will give credit to the team in the bank, a dedicated team that was focused on execution, clear about what we want to do as a bank, clear about the way we want to serve our customers, and clear with respect to what our performance direction was in 2015. And thirdly, I will say the senior management team and the board in terms of providing the strategic leadership and focus executed to delivering that superb financial performance. And finally, our customers, loyal customers over the period, challenging period in 2015, but I can say if I can recall, all of this contributed to the superb financial performance we had in 2015.
Mr. Kamara said the bank's focus for this year is to drive an efficient balance sheet growth to support sustainable performance. Judith Sana, SABC Business News.
Well, thanks to Judith Sana for that report. Melo Africa is to export 10 20-feet containers of pure bean honey to the United States this year. Only 3 containers were shipped last year. Lucian Ganda filed in this report. This will be Milo Africa's second shipment of honey to the United States. The company provides markets for bean farmers and works directly with them without middlemen. Company sources say there are a lot of middlemen in the honey business scheme, which often lead to a situation where the actual farmers receive pittance instead of getting the full benefit of their labor. According to the company, they buy from the farmers and export to Sweet Harvest Foods in Minnesota, USA, and have been working with its partners, Milo Africa, for several years now to ensure the supply of pure bean honey from Sierra Leone to the United States is guaranteed. Milo Africa started with farmers in Koinadugu, Kenema, and Kailaun and has extended to Kalokoh, Bombali, and Cambia. Company sources say there is more money in bean, keeping with minimum labor compared to palm oil production, adding that the Milo Africa trains bean farmers on how to keep the hives and harvest world-class honey. The company, according to marketing sources, has approached donor agencies to support bean farmers in the country, as most of them use local materials. Well, that's the business update. I'm Awana Conte. Keep watching.
Thanks to Awana Conte for the business updates. Coming up next, a sport update with Frances Bernard.
Hello, it's Sports Update on Newser and for Sports Now. The Sierra Leone delegation to the Rio Olympic Games has spent 1 week in the Games Village, where Chef de Mission Eunice Kalokoh has been following the activities of the team in Brazil, and he filed this report.
The much talked about Olympic Games will soon be here. This is the Athletes Olympic Village here in Rio de Janeiro, the host city of the Games of the 31st Olympiad. It will be the first time South America is experiencing the Games, which suggests that Brazil, no doubt, has traveled a long way to the Games. The concept of this Olympic Village is completely different from previous Games. All 31 buildings are closely connected, so much that it takes less than 60 minutes to navigate the entire village. The concept of this village may not be unconnected with the fact that, in legacy, this apartment will be sold out to high-income earners in Brazil. There are swimming pools all over the place, making it easy for athletes to access training facilities. There are connecting transports to take athletes to different venues with ease every 15 minutes. The main Olympic Stadium is a distance away from the village, but athletes have been urged to pay attention to time. The innovation here is the construction of the fitness center. The state-of-the-art facilities are no doubt amazing, but most of the athletes are coming across them for the first time. However, they are readily being used by many officials apart from registered athletes. The Sierra Leone delegations arrived much more earlier for proper acclimatization. The athletes have already started testing the facilities. They were scared to use the state-of-the-art facilities in the fitness center when they arrive because they are seeing most of the equipment for the first time. They are, however, gradually coping and are now comfortable with most of the facilities. They have started their regular training. Swimming was the first association to access the pool. The athletes seem very much happy and are ready to swim. It will be the first time in many years for swimmers to represent Sierra Leone in the Olympic Games. The athletes have not promised King Solomon's Island, but are poised to do their best to improve their previous timings. Coach Bobson Mansari is in charge of the squad.
Of course we are here. We are going to compete with the elite and ourselves are part of the elite. So we are here already as Sierra Leoneans representing our country. We are ambassador here. It doesn't matter what it takes. We are going to do our best to see that we represent our country. We are very confident, and my swimmers are going to do their best to make sure that they participate in the Rio 2016.
The male athletics athletes also took the track for training. The female athletes from the United States of America is yet to arrive in the village. Coach Joseph Lahai is working assiduously with athlete Dudu to ensure that he clock a time to impress the world.
Really, I'm happy because we arrived here earlier and my athlete is coping up with the weather condition and he has started training. Oh yeah, I'm really hoping for my athletes to do something great so that he can be attracted to scholarship for himself and others back home. That's our aim here. Let's put fingers across in everything.
Sierra Leone delegation is still not yet complete. The high commands, including the National Olympic Committee President and Secretary General, the Minister of Sport, other journalists from Swansea are still in Freetown and will join the team. But for sure, those who have arrived seem very much comfortable. Eunice Kalokoh, SLBC News.
Well, he is Eunice Kalokoh reporting right from Brazil, Rio de Janeiro, ahead of the games, the opening ceremony of the games, which will be held on the 5th of August. Where from that story, we now go to the international scene and bring you some international sports story. Manchester United in their pre-season preparations ahead of the commencement of the English Premier League played against Galatasaray, and they defeated Galatasaray by 5-1. We bring you highlights.
Here comes Valencia powering up the right-hand side. Oh. Ibrahimovic! Dear me. The King of Sweden scores on his United debut in spectacular style. Zlatan Ibrahimovic. It is Zlatan time already, just 3.5 minutes into his debut.
It's a good build-up by United, but he doesn't really catch it properly, Stuart, but it still beats everybody. It does well Valencia to get down the line here. The ball in, doesn't catch it properly. But the bounce defeats the goalkeeper. Maybe the wet grass put a bit more pace on it. But what a start. What a start. Oh, I don't think it's a good thing to make starts like that, shit, because everybody will be expecting it all the time now. What?
For Galatasaray. Wicked ball in, and the equaliser. Galatasaray's first effort in the game, and they equalised.
What a great ball in, Stuart. It's not got a great deal of height on it. I don't think he has to jump.
Well, it's been frustrating so far for Simon Garmas, but he got the crucial touch there. De Gea couldn't keep it out. Good in-swinging ball from Wesley Sneijder, and from nowhere, 1-1.
Well, disappointment for United in actual fact. But look at... Oh, no marking either, was there? Just gets a free header. Nothing the goalkeeper can do about that. That might bring the game more to life now.
Tough. Bruma gets it back. Bruma drives forward, and a fabulous goal. And Galatasaray have turned it around. Outstanding from Bruma. Wonderful finish. Lovely 1-2. And United, after having a perfect start, are down behind.
Well, great football, Stuart. But you've got to say, Stuart, they've been the best team probably for most of this first half. They look a little bit sharper than United at this moment in time. That is a terrific goal. Great build-up, great passing movement. Terrific goal. Doesn't half hit it well, doesn't it? Goalkeeper, no chance.
Well, we mentioned before, he's been the star of pre-season so far for Galatasaray, and that was top class from the Portuguese winger.
That'd be brilliant, that, Stuart. No
Carrick. Rashford always looks a threat, always looks lively on the turn. Gets it back to Valencia as well. He's done very well, pulls it across, and United score. Wayne Rooney opens his pre-season account. Wonderful link-up play. Rashford, Young, both involved. Rooney provides the finish, and it's 2-2.
Terrific start the second half for United, Stuart, but they've been alive.
Well, the guys of Jose Mourinho won that competition, and Zlatan Ibrahimovic made his debut by scoring in that match against Galatasaray. Well, that's all for sports updates on Newsa. Thanks for watching.
Thanks to Francis Bernard. In the news, we look at the main points again. As police arrested 2 Chinese nationals for illegal mining gold in the Kangari Hills in the Tonkolele district, Congo Bridge mining operations in Kondo town to be investigated. Sierra Leone is joining the world to observe Breastfeeding Week. Chief Medical Officer, Ministry of Health and Sanitation, Dr. Grana Kagbo, has urged district medical officers to redouble their efforts for the successful implementation of the presidential recovery priorities. And Civil Rights Coalition and the African Livestock Policy Hub have embarked on a campaign to ensure Sierra Leoneans prefer locally produced chicken to imported ones. Well, that's all in this edition of News Hour, broadcast live on the Sierra Leone Broadcasting Corporation in Freetown. On behalf of my news editor, Sheku Sumala, producer Awanatu Conte, I am Doreen Kalokoh in Freetown. In case you missed all or part of our programs, to send us an email to contact us at sfbc.sf. Thanks for watching. Have a lovely day. God bless.
at SLB.